This is a Swede Speaks. I'm sitting here today with Max Hermansen. And we have met you before, but for those who don't know you, you are the founder of Pegida Norway.
I am. Yeah, I started with Pegida Marshes 2.5 years ago.
And you're also involved in the Democrat Party and the Stop Islamization of Norway.
Yeah, absolutely.
However, what I would like to ask you mostly about today is your recent trip to Israel.
Yep.
So I wonder, why do you go to Israel? Why are you interested in that country?
Because it's the only country in the Middle East who is democratic, who has a system which is friendly to humans, and it's such a big contrast to all the other countries in the region. And it's also a country with an enormous history, not the least a military history, which is so impressive and so interesting that I only originally planned a trip which should be military historian trip, but it became more and more not only that but also historian. Historical trip.
Yes, and what are your impressions of Israel?
First of all, that I felt secure when I was there. I saw a modern country with a lot of security measures, but they have succeeded. It's a state where they have a lot of military and police around, armed with automatic weapons. They have a heavily defended border towards Syria, of course, and they've done a lot of other things to make sure that their population is safe.
Right. One of the things that's been discussed for the last few years has been Israel's security fence towards the Palestinians. I think maybe you have an opinion or an impression about that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's necessary. One thing is that they said that when they built the fence after the second Intifada, I think that was 2001, they built the fence towards both those two parts of the West Bank. There was a drop in thefts of cars and bicycles of approximately 90% in Jerusalem. But more important is that they have made the population in Jerusalem and the areas much more safe for everyone who is living in those areas. Not only Jews, but also the Arab population and also Christians and others.
Yes. So, how did they react to you coming there as a Norwegian tourist? Did you get any reactions from the locals?
No, not at all. There are so many tourists in Israel, and that's interesting to see that there are so many tourists coming to this country, because it's so good, it's so fascinating, it's so interesting, it's and also so secure.
Right. Do you think there's anything that Western Europe, maybe Norway and Sweden and other Western countries, could learn from Israel?
Well, the main point is that if we continue to do these things as we're doing now, to import more and more Muslims, in Norway we have during the last 4 years we have allowed more than between 80 and 100,000 Muslims more to stay in Norway, which is a catastrophe. If we continue this, we will have to do some kind of division between the Norwegian or the Western population and Muslims, or between Muslims and the others.
Right, so we might need our own security fences then.
We will probably need that. I would say that Sweden already needs that. should do something like that.
Yes,
But it's impossible, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's not. It's politically impossible.
Yeah.
But there are many examples from both Norway and Sweden and other Western countries.
Yeah.
Before we end, is there anything you'd like to add? Well, about Israel or about the West or whatever you'd like to add?
Well, it's very fascinating to travel around in Israel, and I would certainly recommend that as many as possible go to Israel and see for themselves, because there is so much false information about what is happening, and there is a very, very good reason to say that Israel should be allowed to do what they're doing, and they have to if they lose another war,
Yes.
then they are doomed. If the Arabs, Palestinian Arabs and others
Yes.
stop attacking Israel, then there will be peace. I think that's very important to underline. It's
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. Wasn't it Golda Meir who said that? If the Arabs put their weapons down, there will be peace.
Yeah.
If the Jews put their weapons down, they will be exterminated.
Yeah,
Something like that.
annihilated or something like that. Yes,
Yes.
that's. I think that's very true.
Yes.
Yeah, it was also interesting to see how much how this country has become green, or more or less green.
Right.
We visited it after the harvest, so it of course the fields were mostly brown or not green, but there was a lot of trees, and Israel has got enough water.
Yes.
That's so impressive to be in the Middle East. If every other country in the region had done as Israel, all of them would have had enough water.
Yes, they would have a lot to learn too.
Yeah.
If they were just willing to listen.
Yeah, absolutely. There's so much to talk about that we don't have enough water, fresh water around the world.
Yes.
But we could have all the water we needed if we just did as the Israelis.
Yes.
They have these production facilities for making seawater into fresh water. They have made it so that all sewage is cleaned and then used in the farming industry, and they also have a method of watering their the farming products so that it's not that water consuming.
Exactly. I would like to. I usually say, so I would like to add, is that I consider Israel. I mean, apart from the fact that as a Western conservative, I always like to point out Jerusalem, Athens, and Rome as my fundaments.
Yeah.
But apart from that, Israel is also the front line for the West. If Israel falls, we fall after them.
We fall together with them.
Yes.
We do.
Yes. And a lot of Westerners don't understand this, but so I think it's very important both to support Israel and to visit it. And I know that you are arranging tours to Israel sometimes.
Yeah. Well, I almost took my death of this heat. It was so hot in Israel.
Right.
So I just have to arrange it sometimes more around Christmas time or something where it's not so hot. We went up to the Masada fortress close to the Dead Sea, and it was incredibly hot. It's very interesting to get up there and see what this fortress was like, where the Romans built a ramp and invaded this fortress in the year 70.
Yes.
And found 960 dead persons up there.
Right.
That killed themselves. But it was so hot, so I just have to make it sure that it's not so bloody hot next time.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So your recommendation when we end is for people to go and see Israel for themselves?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Just go there and have a look around. We went to most of the area, not down to the south of Eilat and the desert towards Eilat, but the rest of the country we covered really well, and yeah, well, it was very interesting and a lot of nice people.
Okay, good. Okay, so thank you very much for
Yeah,
for
nice.
participating again.
Yes, thank you.
And so that's all we got now. So until next time, have a nice day and God bless.